Alright, man. Hold up. It's the volume for me. Hey, look. We back with another paternity court. Yo, I love this judge. It's another judge. I'm gonna react to it, but we got a lot of things coming up on this channel. It's uncut. It's raw. So let's go ahead and let's hop into it. I usually do these videos live, but
What kind of
I don't feel like
you dealing with, honey, is you didn't let your match with me. You can't feed me no line. It ain't that far. But why would you go sleep with another man at the direction of one man?
To make him happy.
that makes no
You all
sense.
both look miserable. I can see the look on your face, Mr. Nelson. You decided in your mind that it's possible for you to have both of these women.
This compelling case highlights what envy can make people in a family
I
do.
love your hair, girl.
Ms. Hicks' sister comes to court as a strong witness to support the side that claims that baby Honesty isn't Mr. Smith's daughter.
I know I've only slept with him, and I know who my children belong to. Like,
I know for a fact that he
I
was not
guess
the
you're
only one
there
she
in the
was sleeping
same bed with me when I'm sleeping with these people, I guess.
A family jewel is not the only drama happening in this case. Mr. Smith claims he has a medical condition that prevents him from being able to father a child.
Explain.
I used to work out a lot, and one time I strained myself too hard, and I had to go to the hospital, and the doctor told me that I couldn't have kids, that my testicles had dropped by that time.
This medical state is quite fascinating. Mr. Smith claims that Ms. Hicks cheats on him by sleeping with multiple men.
Once her son was born, she was cheating a lot of time with multiple men.
How he
Hold
finds
up.
out
The other pictures, it's a little blurry. I don't know.
about
I don't
this
know.
unbelievable news will leave your mouth hanging open.
You know that for certain.
Yes, Your
How
Honor.
do you know that? Explain.
Her sister used to tell me that she used to sleep with this guy and that guy, and I didn't believe her at first, but until it started coming to me about the dude she talked to all the time, friendly with.
Mr. Smith submits potential evidence that leaves the audience in shock, but Ms. Hicks claims she doesn't remember these facts.
Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
I went through her phone and found text messages, and it said when I can get that kitty cat.
Oh, you saw a text message?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor.
And you submitted your recollection of that exchange to the court. The other guy said, I missed that kitty cat. And Ms. Hicks responded, you know he leaves, so you can come over anytime.
Yes, Your Honor.
I don't
Wow.
even remember that text message, Your Honor. I honestly
I bet
do
you
not
don't.
remember
I bet
this
you don't
text
even remember
message.
when.
Mr. Smith claims to remember a scenario where he caught a man jumping from Ms. Hicks' window. He explains the situation, and the audience reacts.
That dude jumped out the window.
Yeah, the guy jumping out the window. situation.
Yo, why's your
Well,
mama?
I came out the car. I seen somebody jump out the window, and I'm knocking on the door for like 30 minutes.
But a guy
30
just jumped out
minutes.
the window, but you gotta knock on your own door.
Exactly.
Pitiful.
And so, wait, were you there when the guy jumped out the window?
Oh,
Ms.
yes,
Hicks?
ma'am. I was in my car. I'm looking at him run through the field.
Mr. Smith's happiness in discovering he's a would-be father is short-lived. He claims he faked it all. He knew he couldn't have a child. Apparently, Mr. Smith named the baby Honesty. The striking resemblance between Honesty and Mr. Smith is not easy to overlook, but results will tell.
Faking it to her, but I know in my mind that
Faking it.
I can't have.
Oh, you were faking it to her.
Yes, Your Honor.
It is no way anybody can fake anything. I mean, at the hospital, you're there. He was like, oh, she looked just like me. She's so beautiful.
Well-respected Dr. Gator sheds more light on the condition Mr. Smith claims to have that closes all gaps to him being the father of Honesty.
Oh, let's see.
Hypogonadism is when the body doesn't produce enough testosterone. You can either be born with it or you can develop it later in life. Usually from things like infection or an injury to the testicles can also cause it. But nature gives us two testicles, and so usually it has to be a profound injury to not one, but both testicles to actually cause hypogonadism. But many males still produce some testosterone. Testosterone is the signal for the body to produce sperm. So it may affect his sperm count, and it really just depends on how low the sperm count and if he has enough sperm to actually be able to father a child.
Mr. Smith likes to show off honesty to his family, but he doesn't believe that she is his daughter. The reason he does this is quite...
I don't know, bro. I don't know. She kind of look like you, though. Yeah. She a little cutie, though.
hilarious.
You know?
You feel that a child is not yours, you're not going to take this child to all your people. You're not.
Why are you taking the baby around your family, Mr. Smith?
Because I raised her own son as mine, and I don't like people like that to be deadbeat.
Ms. Hicks finally reveals her genuine emotions as she explains how her sister's actions make her feel.
And now I have to prove paternity of my daughter, stating and showing that my daughter is his biologically.
And I can see that hurts you.
It devastates
Why do you say it devastates you, Miss Hicks?
Because it's coming from my full-blooded sister. We have the same mom, same dad. And I don't know why would this come from you anyway. As
Because
close
I know
as
what
we
you
are,
do, Carlisha.
we're
Oh!
very close.
Oh! I just got it. That your sister? Damn, bro. Damn, bro. Yo, if that was my sister, oh! You supposed to ride. It's supposed to be ride or die. Yo, that's... Oh.
It's an emotional
Well, I
moment
thought that
for
was
Ms.
his
Hicks,
mama.
And we can sense that the
Shit.
results are about to be read. At this point, even the judge plainly states that the resemblance between father and child is striking.
They say sisters argue, fuss, and fight, and you all have proven that right.
And the result reveals.
When it comes to 3-month-old Honesty Smith, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Smith, you are the father.
What next? Thank you so much, Your Honor. I'm so glad that I came here today to get these results.
The court session of Mr. White and Mrs. White begins with an emotional father who claims he is not the biological father of his 3-year-old daughter, Savannah.
I just can't be with somebody that's gonna constantly cheat on me and have me raise somebody else's child. Savannah has the right to know, and I have the right to know.
And you love this little girl.
Yes, I love her to death.
3 years.
3 years.
And so she looks to you, you're her father, you're her daddy.
Yep, just the other day she was at my mother's, and she woke up and she asked, "Where's Daddy?"
And I can see this is just tearing you apart.
It is.
It's just eating away at you. I can see it.
Don't cry, boo.
Mr. White is in a distressing situation and needs to be sure the children are genuinely his because his wife cheated on him just a week after their marriage. And we
Damn.
know that everyone always has excuses for their actions, whether good or bad. So let's hear the
A
reason
week?
why Mrs.
Yo,
White is
that
cheating
heifer
on her
dirty
husband.
as hell, bro.
But I have like abandonment issues because I was adopted. So like if he's not showing me the love and affection that I need, and I mean I'm not trying to like make excuses for myself because
Yeah,
I
you
admit
is.
what I've done is wrong, but I just want him to like show me love and affection and be there for me and like hold my hand in public and just be there.
Despite all the cheating, Mrs. White doesn't want to let Mr. White go. She resorts to threatening Mr. White. Let's have an insight into the outrageous threats put forth by Mrs. White.
I've tried to leave this relationship, but she won't let me leave. I've literally tried to physically leave, and she has stood in front of the car to where I couldn't leave, where she says, "I'm gonna call the cops and tell them you hit me."
Wow.
What? Miss White, you doing way too much manipulating.
Well, I'm just trying to.
Just off of that, yo, I feel like the kid ain't even his, yo. Like you cheated on him the first fucking week after y'all got married. Yo, shawty is dirty, young. He just need to just go ahead and walk away. Take his kids and go about his business.
Fix everything.
The sacrifices Mr. White has made for his family will leave you feeling pity for the family experience he has had in his short life.
I think more than anything that I was more hurt because I done got attached to her. 6 months old, was there for the whole 9 months. I was the one that cut the umbilical cord. I watched her come out. I've been there for all my kids. I work 7 days a week. I work Monday through Friday doing my main job. Saturday and Sunday I'm doing odd jobs to provide for my kids because I want them to have a better life than I did.
The evidence Mr. White submits to prove his wife's infidelity is quite surprising. Disturbing sexual texts and photo exchanges will make you want to scream your lungs out.
Miss White says my body's naked, wishing you was in this bed with me. The ex-boyfriend texts back, LOL, you are crazy, about to call you in a minute. Oh, this is another guy. This is not the ex-boyfriend's name. He says, laying here horny, and you say, Miss White, I know me too. Miss White says, you can bring me some cigs, LOL, Al's a blank. And give me a Valentine's Day treat, cause Al not gonna do blank.
It is not easy for Ms. White to accept full responsibility for her actions. One would think that she would confess at this point with all the evidence, but Mrs. White is quick to dismiss the fact.
It's crazy that every single dude say you crazy. Like, they know you married. Like,
she slept with her ex-boyfriend. The judge is quick to tactfully bring out the truth right from the horse's mouth.
Tell me what happened behind that story, Ms. White.
We didn't even do anything on Valentine's Day. We just sat there and talked. That's all we did on Valentine's Day.
He sends you a picture of his penis and you go over and talk?
Yeah.
Jerome, they must have changed my name to Boo Boo the Fool down there on this thing.
Caught in a corner, Mrs. White confesses to sleeping with her ex-boyfriend on February 14th.
Did you sleep with the other man in February on Valentine's Day?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the truth is that because of this,
he hurt his like
you
shit.
do not know for certain whether the child you're carrying is Mr. White.
No, I know it's his because around the time I got pregnant, I have not slept with nobody.
It is shown that Mrs. White brought the case to court, and not Mr. White. And this courtroom's proceeding isn't looking in the favor of Mrs. White. Tears stream down the face of Mr. White as the DNA test results are being
Hey, bro,
read.
I want to
It has been determined by this court. Mr. White, you are her father. How do you feel?
I feel happy.
Then I want a
How
divorce.
do you feel, Ms. White?
Relieved.
The results were pleasing to hear, as it was determined that Mr. White is the biological father of Savannah and all the other children.
Natalie, Mr. White, you are her father. It's for Drew. Mr. White, you are Drew's father. And this last result was a prenatal test for your unborn child. But this court is pleased to say, Mr. White, you are the child's biological father.
Hey, she pregnant again?
The court opens with the case of
I
Ms.
still want a
Thomas and Mr.
divorce.
Nelson. This
The
case
fuck?
shows that a long-term relationship with children may
Got
not
time for her,
necessarily
bro.
be worth fighting for. The switch from being the victim and innocent to adding to the tension was swift in this case. Ms. Thomas sure knows how to pull in the audience.
It was rocky, but I was not sleeping with different men. Mr. Nelson was the only one that I was sleeping with at the time, especially during my conception days.
Man, that's
But
not-
when
No one has ever gone wrong when they keep track of things. The next scene is solid proof of that. Thank you, Ms. Thomas.
So you were tracking your cycle.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Was this
Honor.
with the intention of getting pregnant or not getting pregnant?
He actually wanted me to get pregnant.
She told me
so
on
on my
she did all them
tracker,
days like that because
on
she
my
had an unprotected sex
no,
with that guy.
on my tracker,
She
Your
said,
Honor,
so every
as
time I
you can
messed with
see,
him, she said that's why every time she had sex with him, that's why she put it on the calendar like that.
Ms. Thomas discloses fully to Mr. Nelson that she cheats on him. The atmosphere in the courtroom is getting tense as the audiences and the judge's facial expressions change to this information.
gone, Your Honor.
So wait a minute, how did you find out about the other guy exactly, Mr. Nelson?
I told him.
She honest. I'm not gonna lie. She do be honest.
I told him.
So what did you say? You just came to him and said, I have something to tell you?
We
He
weren't
was-
having,
No.
we was never having sex
We
no
wa-
more.
we
2
weren't.
months go by, 3. I'm like, I started calling my friends and stuff. I'm like, yo, if your girl don't have sex with you for like a whole month straight, what can you do? They was like, what do that mean? I said, is it over? They was like, bro, she messing with somebody else, bro.
And you were.
I was.
Ms. Thomas drops a bomb that we didn't
Why?
see coming,
Like, she,
but the
like,
evidence
proud,
she claims
though.
to have on
The
Mr.
fuck?
Nelson and herself.
I want a
This new
divorce.
information riles up the audience.
You told Mr. Nelson you were pregnant.
Yes, Your Honor.
What was his response?
He was going around telling everybody that I was pregnant. Up until the time he met Miss Campbell, that's when he started denying my son.
And the appearance of Mr. Nelson's wife and her side of the story shed more light on the relationship between her husband and Ms. Thomas.
When you found out that your husband was now sleeping with his ex.
It's a video I found. The video is dated April 3rd, which would have been, I guess, the first day or so that she had showed up in Greensboro. All I know is I saw her demeanor when she came around. And she was kind of like, hi, Stephen. I'm like, okay, this is a person that's supposedly supposed to be so hurt. Like, why is she grinning? And then I saw his demeanor, and he looked guilty. So I put 2 and 2 together. You know, something's not right. Why is she extra happy and he's looking crazy?
All home training is forgotten, as both women now feed us with in-depth definitions and meanings of the words side chick, mistress, and wife.
Your wife discovered a video of you having sex with your ex, now mistress.
No, I made a slip up.
Comfortable from going from wifey to side chick.
No, I'm
It's
not
weird.
nobody's side chick
It's
because
weird.
your husband is the one that tells me
It's
he
weird.
wants to leave.
But that
too.
makes you a
For
side
me,
chick.
No,
That
it
makes you a
doesn't.
side chick. We're
No, it does
legally
not.
married.
Wait a minute.
No, it does
Mistress.
not.
That's
No, it does
side,
not.
The
side
judge
chick
quickly
energy,
calls them
bro.
back to order, and what she says should get them thinking about if their relationship with Mr. Nelson is worth the stress. The audience agrees with the judge.
You all both look miserable. I can see the look on your face, Mr. Nelson. You decided in your mind that it's possible for you to have both of these women. And they let you. You're not gonna sit up here and fool me, because let me tell you something. I don't know what they fighting over.
Finally, the judge asks the most critical question we were all looking forward to. The chaos of this case is weakening. Ms. Thomas may clarify what the point of this case is.
So what are you hoping for now? What do you want out of this?
I want him to leave me alone. Honest. If he's gonna make his marriage work, let your marriage work. I'll try to move forward with my life. He texts me. He calls me and tells me how much he misses me and wants to be with me. It's not the other way around. And I have messages.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And if he wants to be with
Did
me,
you bring the messages to court with you?
yes, Your Honor.
The famous statement, "the truth is bitter," is well associated with this case. As we move toward the climax of the case, it becomes an emotional battle for both women. But the judge always has the fitting conclusion and advice.
You need to be honest. You're all in this. So you can't point a finger at Miss Nelson and say, oh, I'm glad I'm not you. Because you are her on the other side of the mirror.
Facts.
The results shatter the wife, but it seems she isn't ready to let go of her marriage. Ms. Thomas's reaction proves that everything about her relationship with Mr. Thomas isn't over.
When it comes to 8-month-old Jakai Thomas, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Nelson,
You are.
you are the father.
I was like, why is it not working? These to be open.
This story has quite a twist.
How many
Everything
kids?
gets
5.
ended very quickly.
But why would you go sleep with another man at the direction of one man?
To make him happy.
Ms.
Maybe
Arbogast
this needs to come
slept with
on.
a man Mr. Vest asked her to sleep with while dating. She obliged to make him happy.
Oh.
That starts from the beginning of this
Bet.
dramatic case. Ms. Arbogast
I was trying to
and
figure out
Mr.
why it
Vest
wouldn't work.
had a son together
This
before
stupid
she
thing.
became pregnant again with Kinsley. Mr. Vest has rarely contributed financially to his son's life, and here is why.
So if you don't have doubts about the older child, why are you not at least providing for that child?
I have been providing for that child, but recently I have been having bills and everything else that, you know.
How much money do you say you've contributed to Kinsley?
$5.
Kinsley, probably $100.
The children are familiar with Mr. Fritz as a father figure, even though he is not their father. Let's hear more about what the children benefit from having a father figure like Mr. Fritz.
Let me understand this. And Mr. Fritz is your current boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
And so he's the person helping you raise Mr. Vess's children?
Yes. He's the one who they wake up to every morning. He's the one who takes them out, does things with them, plays football with them. He does the father role, not Mr. Vess.
Mr. Vess gave Ms. Arbogast an outrageous task that left us wondering where he got the information. As Ms. Arbogast enlightens the audience, Mr. Vess quickly denies the accusation.
You say Mr. Vess told you?
Yes.
The only way to break the connection you had with this friend. But he says you need to go have sex with him.
Yeah, to break the emotional and physical bond of friendship that I had with this man. But then he decided, but the whole
Who gave you this advice, Mr. Vess? Where'd you come up with this?
No, I never said that. That never came out of my mouth.
Oh, yes, it did.
Ms. Arbogast claims
Yeah,
to
these
slept
people
with both
stupid
men
as
in the
hell,
same
bro.
month, but she is confident that Kinsley is Mr. Vess's daughter.
So wait, how did this happen then? You just go up to this guy and say, my boyfriend says we should have sex.
It was late at night. He came and got me. We went to the lake and, well, we went to the gas station, bought condoms, went to the lake, did our deal, and I went back home and got in bed with him. Took a shower and then got in bed. And he was all good.
A new claim is up. And Ms. Arbogast says she was already pregnant before she slept with the other man.
I was already pregnant at the time I had sex with this other man. He's sitting on the couch in the hospital, holding her after she's born. He held her before I held her.
This woman reeks
they
of
got too much drama for me.
Mr. Vess's girlfriend seen. We just need the DNA results at this point.
Ms. Glover, I'd like to know if you know anything about when Mr. Vess found out that Kinsley may not be his biological daughter.
I don't know if it was out of anger or what, but yeah, she did say it shortly after they broke up that Kinsley was possibly not his.
In cases like this, the word jealousy is never left out. Both men don't disappoint in using the term, as each tried to make and stand on their point of view.
And Mr. Vess, you're just jealous because you got replaced as a boyfriend and as a father. And you will too.
Oh,
in a matter of time, you will be replaced.
Oh, no, we won't.
3 boyfriends in how many years?
I've had 2
3.
until him.
The claim on who requested a paternity test first is passed all around. The pressure is getting worse, and we can't wait for the results.
Man, when they be filming paternity court, I want to go.
Irritation and vexation.
I even asked him to go and buy one of those $35 kits off the shelf DNA paternity test that you do at home and then you send it to a lab. Oh, I don't have the money for that.
Okay, but if you're the one begging for it, why didn't you go and get it yourself?
Because you're the one who denies her.
Ms. Arbogast shows the first piece of evidence. She gives the court text messages between her and Mr. Vess. The texts leave the judge and audience disappointed at Mr. Vess's careless words.
Mr. Vess responds, I would claim that thing if I knew she was mine. Miss Arbogast says, oh, so now she's just a thing. A thing?
Oh, the this.
I shouldn't have said it. I was angry. And yeah, I regret saying that.
Mr. Vess thinks there is a resemblance between Cameron and Kinsley. There is none between himself and Kinsley, which is why he believes he is not the father. What logic? The result of this case is quite a relief. The truth is out and justice has also been served.
When it comes to 2-year-old Kinsley Vess,
I'm still stuck on that
it has
thing.
been determined by this court. Mr. Vess, you are the father.
I see.
As she grows up, Kinsley can have a reliable knowledge of who her biological father is.
I'm still stuck on you calling your kid a freaking thing. Like, baby girl is what? She said 2? In about a couple years, I give it like, I'm not sure how old this video is, but I give it about 10 years. Shawty is going to be seeing this online. This joint is online for the rest of your life. And one thing she's going to see is that her father called her a thing. And then you're going to say, yeah, I regret it because I said it out of anger. That's one thing, like, regardless if you know yay or nay, if that's your kid. If it's a possibility that you were swinging and dangling with Shawty, then that's a possibility that that's your kid, my guy. You're not going to call your kid a fucking thing. Who does that shit? Yo, he just pissed me off, yo. This pissed me off. I'm done. Yeah.